you have been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and your life feels chaotic right now, for lack of better words. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you some keys that I wish I knew after my type 1 diabetes diagnosis. I know you may feel a little overwhelmed right now, may feel lonely in this journey, like nobody understands you, but hopefully after you watch this entire video, you're going to get some inspiration and you're going to feel some hope, like there's some light at the end of the tunnel. And don't worry, you are not alone. My name is Santise, for those that don't know me, and I am a type 1 diabetes wellness coach, specifically helping people living with type 1 diabetes master control over their blood sugar levels and live a healthier life all around. So with that being said, let's get started. And I want to take you a little bit to the beginning of my type 1 diabetes diagnosis. So I was diagnosed at 22 years old in 2017, December 2017. It was very, very life-changing, if I can say the least. I couldn't understand how my life went from being normal to now having to worry about insulin and blood sugar levels, and I had to relearn how to eat. I had to relearn how to live life practically. So I want to give you some very key things that are going to help you in this journey. Like I said, you're not alone. I got you. So make sure you watch the whole video so you can get some good takeaways here. So let's get started. Number one is you have to accept your diabetes diagnosis and embrace your new reality. So what do I mean by that? Life changed for you and you got diagnosed. You didn't do anything to deserve this diagnosis. There's nothing that you did wrong, but it is your responsibility to take care of yourself. It's your responsibility to accept your new reality. Now, the faster you can accept that your life is not normal anymore and you have to live differently than everybody else, the easier things will get. I've talked to many type 1 diabetics that lived with type 1 diabetes for over 20 years and they still didn't accept their diagnosis. They still didn't accept that they're different, they're not normal, right? Your pancreas doesn't work. We have an autoimmune disease. This is something serious and we always try to downplay it like, oh yeah, I have type 1. And like, meanwhile, your life literally, if you don't give yourself insulin, bad things are going to happen to you. So accept it and embrace it. There's nothing wrong. I mean, life sucks that this happened, but at the end of the day, there is freedom. The more control you have over this, there is, and I'm going to get to those things in a little bit, but there is a way out of this. But first, you have to accept it. There's no cure, but if you accept this identity, this new reality of being a type 1 diabetic, you're going to be able to take certain actions that are going to help you live a better life. If you don't accept it, you're going to live in denial and you're not going to be authentic. And on top of that, if you don't accept your diagnosis, other people won't accept you. And that's the bottom line. Don't go hiding. You don't have to tell the world that you're a type 1 diabetic, but embrace it. This is our reality. And you're not flawed because of it. You're not less than anybody else because of it. And I promise you, if you let it, this disease will make you strong. This disease will make you resilient. This disease will make you a person that you never thought you could become. And I'm saying that because I've been living with this disease for a few years now, and it really has shaped my life in such a positive way because I accepted my diagnosis early on. So that's the first thing. That's the first key that I recommend. Accept it, embrace it. This is who we are, and there's nothing wrong with it. We're not flawed. We're just got a little bit. We just got to do a little bit more work than everybody else. So the second thing is gather as much information as possible about type 1 diabetes. You have to become an expert over type 1 diabetes. You can't just depend on what your doctor's telling you. You have to educate yourself. You have to look for the answers. If things are not going the way you want them, if you're constantly fluctuating blood sugar levels or you don't understand something, it's your job to figure it out. No one's going to figure it out for you. Nobody's going to be able to control this for you. But you need the proper education. You need the proper information in order to do so. And it's your job to go look for it. It's your job to go find the answers. Okay, why is my blood sugar level spiking right now? Okay, was it the food? Was it the amount of insulin? Okay, how does insulin work? Okay, what all these things are going to help you feel like you have a strong understanding over it. So that way you have a strong understanding over yourself. And that's crucial. I see a lot of people that are just way too, in a way, passive. They just go by this one size fits all approach, and they go to their doctors and expect their doctors to be looking out for their best interest, but they're not. They're just following things that they read on a textbook. This disease is way more complicated than people think it is. Now, the more information and the more education that you have over type 1 diabetes, over insulin, over blood sugar level control, over your entire body, the easier this disease will get. I promise. If you just live with a blindfold and you don't know what's going on, your life is just going to be, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be pleasant. You're going to feel like diabetes is controlling your every move. So educate yourself. Get as much information as possible. It's your obligation. You have to master this. You have to learn everything there is about type 1 diabetes. And the more you learn, the more you're going to feel like you're in a better place and the more control you're going to feel. So let's jump to number 3. The more control you have over your blood sugar levels, the more normal you will feel. What do I mean by that? So let me give you a bit of a story. When I was diagnosed with type 1, I felt like I couldn't do anything anymore. I felt like I couldn't go out with my friends. I felt like work was tough. I couldn't concentrate on anything. I felt like diabetes literally controlled my every emotion. It controlled everything. It felt like I was in a car and type 1 diabetes was the driver of my car, and I was just on the passenger side. And type 1 drives reckless. I mean, like it was just constant fear, constant up and downs. My moods would switch. I would get angry. I was resentful. Like I just didn't feel like myself. The more control I got over my blood sugar level, the more normal I felt prior to my diagnosis. When I finally gained very good control over my blood sugar level, I felt like I could do the things that I used to do again. I felt like I could go out with my friends and enjoy myself without being scared. I felt like I can go out and be spontaneous and feel like I'm not controlled by this disease. I was living in complete fear where I couldn't focus on the present moment. The more control and the more understanding that I've got over my blood sugar levels, I felt like I'm living, like right now, I feel like I'm living my life prior to my diagnosis because I have so much, I know everything about my body. I know how the insulin's going to affect me. I know when to take insulin, when not to take insulin, what snacks, what foods to eat in order for me to stay stable, and what's going to happen in 2 hours, what's going to happen in 4 hours. Now, like I said, the more control you have, the more confident you're going to feel in yourself. Now, something interesting enough is that there's people that live with this disease for many, many years. Again, I talked to over thousands of type 1s at this point, and they never bothered to understand and gain control over their blood sugar levels. And they just live this passive life with type 1 diabetes where it controls them, their every move. And don't live life like that. Just don't live life. Aim for control. Aim to get good control. Aim to understand yourself. Aim to understand your blood sugar levels, because I promise that's what's going to give you confidence in yourself so you can go and live your life again. So you can go and be spontaneous and adventurous and not let type 1 diabetes stop you from doing the things that you are meant to do. Just because we have type 1 doesn't mean our life has to be full of suffering and we can't do anything. That's lies. Don't feed into those lies, and be careful who you listen to out there, because there's a lot of people in the community that always feel bad. Oh, in the type 1 diabetes community, oh, I feel bad. Oh, diabetes sucks. I can't do this. I can't do that. Take ownership. Don't be like that. So that's leading us to key number 4. This is something crucial here. This is what made me feel like I had a fighting chance and light at the end of the tunnel. What I'm about to tell you, completely changed everything in my journey with type 1 diabetes. And no doctor told, my medical professionals, the medical team that I have, did not tell me this. But if you emulate the same blood sugar levels as someone with a working pancreas, you're gonna avoid diabetic complications. That should be your goal, because nobody wants to deal with these nasty diabetic complications. Diabetes will kill you slowly. And I knew that because diabetes is something that most health issues come from diabetes. It comes from type 2 diabetes, but uncontrolled sugar levels leads to every single health problem that people face. And for me, as a 22-year-old, I couldn't understand how my blood sugar levels could lead me to go blind. Like, I could have kidney failure, I could have a neuropathy, I could I could have amputations. Like, I didn't know what my life was going to look like in 5-10 years, and that just caused complete depression. I felt like, what's the point of even living life if I don't even know what's going to happen in 10 years? Now, when I learned that if I emulate the same blood sugar levels as someone with a working pancreas, I will avoid diabetic complications. I finally found light at the end of the tunnel. I was like, all right, this is going to be tough. This is going to be hard, but at least I know where I need to go. Very important. And I hope that sticks with you. Just aim to get your A1Cs down as much as possible, as normal as possible. From my research, I talked to a diabetic that's been living with type 1 for over 70 years, and he told me aim to have A1Cs below a 6.0. He has little to no complications, and I was like, got it. That's what I'm going to go. That's what I'm going to do. So your goal should be, how can you have A1Cs below a 6, increase time in range as much as possible, limit the fluctuations as much as possible, and have stable blood sugar levels for as long as possible. This is a marathon this is lifelong until they find a cure. This is lifelong. So that should be our goal there. So emulate the same blood sugar levels as someone with a working pancreas, and you will avoid all the nasty things all that diabetes can lead to, all the complications that it can lead to. So the fifth key, and I want to leave you off with this one. Hope you can see where I'm coming from with this one. But you have to confront type 1 diabetes head on. And you have to take ownership of what's going on over your life. You have to make this a priority in your life. And the reason why I can't stress this enough is that a lot of people don't realize how serious this is. And if you don't confront it head on, your life is there's always going to be some sort of lack. And there's always going to be that in the back of your head, something's not right. You're always going to feel like life is, something's wrong with your life. Now, as soon as you confront this disease head on and you take ownership of what's going on in your life, I promise you're going to start to overcome this disease. Coming from someone that struggled a ton with the mental side of type 1 diabetes, I struggled so much feeling depressed and like there was no point of living. Until I started confronting it, that's what gave me hope and a drive to live again. And you have to come to terms with that. This is something that you have to prioritize. You can't just let and be passive about this. You have to accept and confront and just go full force to try to figure yourself out here. I promise that type 1 diabetes can make you the healthiest person you will ever be. Or it can make you not the healthiest person you'll ever be. If you confront it, you're going to grow in ways that you never knew you could grow. You're going to build this resilient mindset. And I promise, if you can overcome something as difficult as type 1 diabetes, there's no challenge that you won't be able to overcome. There's no opposition that you won't be able to overcome. And I say this with certainty because this disease has made me the strongest I have ever been, literally strongest muscle-wise and strong physically and also mentally. It's shaped me for who I am because I confront this every single day. Every single day I confront this, and this is something that I have to deal with every single day. And I don't shy away from that battle. I don't shy away from this. I confront it full on. And I feel like that's what made me the person I am. And it has increased my confidence in who I am as a person and who I am as a type 1 diabetic. So confront this. I promise the more you can confront this head on, it's not that diabetes type 1 gets easier, but you get stronger. I believe that. You get stronger. And I want to give you a bonus one here. Don't do this journey by yourself. Don't do this journey by yourself. There's other people living with type 1. We as humans are not meant to live life alone. Talk to other people that are type 1. Ask questions to other type 1 diabetics. Get answers. Feel heard. Don't go through this life feeling misunderstood and like nobody understands what you're actually dealing with. But you have to go and find the community. You have to go and do something about it. You have to go and find friends. You have to go that are type 1 that understand you. The online community is amazing. I also have a school community that if you click on the link below, you can get access to it, where is a community of like-minded people looking to thrive with type 1 diabetes. And in that community, I will help you master control of your blood sugar levels so you improve your A1Cs and you feel like you have a good grip over this disease and you're not alone. Trust me. And what I've learned through coaching people with type 1, it's the support that people need, most important. So with that being said, if you watch till the end, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe for more videos like this. And also leave a comment below how long you've been diagnosed, when you were diagnosed. And if you want to share your diagnosis story, I would love to read it and interact with you. Also follow me on Instagram and message me there. You can always get in touch with me. I'm very involved in the type 1 diabetes community. So with that being said, there's other videos in my channel that can help you. That I have some day in the life videos. I have some other educational stuff to help you. So remember, you're not alone in this journey, and keep on fighting the good fight. Love you.